While the United States remains the hardest hit in this COVID-19 fight, its own President Donald Trump and First Lady Melania Trump have tested positive. The shocking development comes with 32 days left until the U.S. presidential elections. CNN's Karin Caifa joins us now live from Washington, D.C. Thank you so much for joining us, Karin, on The Final Word. Where are the President and the First Lady currently self-isolating, and who is the doctor taking care of the couple?
Well, Rico, the President and the First Lady are in the White House residence, where they have been for the last few hours, at least since President Trump tweeted at about 1 a.m. Eastern Time, 1 a.m. Washington time, that he and the First Lady had both, in fact, tested positive for coronavirus. That tweet, that's how he broke the news, was followed shortly thereafter by a statement by the White House physician who said that both of them are being monitored very vigilantly. And also being monitored vigilantly are those who have been close to the President in recent days. That includes the Vice President Mike Pence and his wife Karen. They said that this morning they have both tested negative for coronavirus. And also the Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin, who has not only been in and around the White House and White House aides, but going up to Capitol Hill and negotiating with House Speaker Nancy Pelosi as Congress and the White House try to come to an agreement on the next round of U.S. coronavirus relief. So certainly a lot of people on edge here in Washington this morning as they try to do their own contact tracing of who they may have been in contact with within Trump circles, Rico.
So, Karin, tell us, what do we know about President Trump's health? And is he at any particular risk because of his age?
Yeah, President Trump is 74 years old, so that automatically puts him at risk. We also know from his medical records, from his previous physicals, that he is considered in a weight zone that would be considered obese. So there's something to consider there. He's also in a very highly stressful job, you might argue the most stressful job on the planet, and in the middle of a re-election campaign where he has been often against the better guidance of public health officials, continuing to hold those large-scale rallies that he enjoys so much. We're learning a little bit more about the president's health in recent days. For example, those who were around him yesterday said he appeared a little bit tired. He went to a fundraiser up in New Jersey and then came back to the White House. Other people who interacted with him said his voice sounded hoarse, but they chalked that up to the recent rallies in both Minnesota on Wednesday, Pennsylvania over the weekend, and of course, that 90-minute debate on Tuesday night, which was quite raucous and had him sharing the stage with his Democratic rival, Joe Biden, Rico.
You mentioned about that debate with former U.S. Vice President Joe Biden. What about the Democratic nominee? Will he also have himself tested because he was around President Trump during that debate?
Yeah, well, we understand that the former vice president will be receiving a coronavirus test this morning. He's been tested weekly over the last few weeks as the campaign has kind of come to its closing days. But we do understand he will be tested today. It was just 3 days ago that debate took place in Cleveland. And I can tell you, Rico, because I was there, the utmost caution was being taken in and around the debate hall. Even if you weren't necessarily going inside, if you were just within that perimeter where the media was, you had to test negative for COVID-19 before you were allowed in. And also, they were instructing people if they were going inside the debate hall, they needed to be wearing masks. Now, if you watched the debate, you saw that a number of members of President Trump's family who did attend were not wearing masks inside the debate hall. That included First Lady Melania Trump, who had a mask on earlier in the evening and then took it off when she got into the hall. So a lot of people concerned about who these staff members, who Trump's family have been around in recent days, and whether there could be further spread within.
So are these staff members and other family members, will they also be tested for COVID-19, and have they already been isolated?
That will be the big question, and we will likely hear from some more of those who work within the White House and also who are more attached to the campaign in recent days, and just how much they'll be able to go out there on the campaign trail on the president's behalf if he himself is unable to campaign will be another question. So certainly a lot that we are learning over the course of these few hours. And of course, we'll be looking to see what the Democratic campaign does as well. As I mentioned, Biden expected to get that test, but Kamala Harris, Biden's running mate, is set to debate Vice President Mike Pence in Salt Lake City, Utah on Wednesday. Now, of course, Vice President Pence tested negative today, but, this virus has an incubation period of 2 to 14 days. So a negative test result today doesn't necessarily guarantee a negative test result tomorrow. So we'll see how both his debate with Kamala Harris and future debates between Joe Biden and President Trump proceed over the next few weeks.
CNN's Karin Caifa there giving us the latest on U.S. President Donald Trump, who tested positive for COVID-19. Thank you so much for that update from Washington, D.C.